Let me tell you something. I've fought in cages. I've battled in front of millions. But you want to know what really used to beat me? Shaving. Until now. I got my hands on this razor from House of Atlas, and I'm telling you, they brought the same championship level innovation to the men's shaving game. First off, the Atlas razor is a machine. Solid weight, sleek design. 5 blades, 0 clogging, and a precision trim edge, which flips back, so I can add a layer of refinement to my shave. Then I grab the Precision Shave Cream. Thick, smooth, no drag. And I finish with their calming aftershave. No sting, just that cool, clean feeling. And check this out. They even include a magnetic hook for your mirror. That's the kind of detail that makes you realize these guys really have thought of everything. And the kicker, you can grab House of Atlas right now at Target or go online and get 20% off with free shipping at houseofatlas.com. Use the code Chael. Stop using razors that shave like garbage. Get the real deal with House of Atlas. Vanderlei had a boxing match in Brazil. Did you guys see this? Now, if I was to back this up a step, Vanderlei was going to have a boxing match in Brazil against Vitor Belfort, which I got to tell you, I was personally interested in, and I could only imagine that in Brazil, that was a very sought-after fight. Vitor comes out, momentarily, yours truly comes in. Brief back and forth. Don't need you, Chael. We've got a former boxer, a Brazilian boxer. He's retired, but he was a contender at one point. We're going to put this gentleman with Vanderlei. Great. That was probably a month ago, somewhere in that range, when I find out about this. So the fight happens, and Vanderlei headbutts the opponent. Now, nowhere did I read, which doesn't mean it's not so, but the information that got to me, nowhere did I read that this was like a flagrant headbutt, where Vanderlei came out and pins the guy down and decides to use his head. In boxing, there's a lot of inside work that happens and it gets resulted in a headbutt. I don't know which case it was. I'm just sharing for you. The headbutt ends up happening a total of 4 times, and the referee says, enough, you're disqualified. So it is at that point when all the shenanigans that you've seen on social media and the videos that are going viral takes place, which is all hell breaks loose in the ring. So Vanderlei, for his most part, is staying on his side of the ring. He's watching turmoil. Relevant that you understand where these players are at. And Vanderlei's got his own guys going to the other side of the ring. And Vanderlei himself, though, is staying on his part. When a guy comes in under the ropes on Vanderlei's side, comes from around Vanderlei, right? Vanderlei's back, but he throws like a hook motion and punches Vanderlei. So it's complete chaos. At some point, this same gentleman, wearing a tuxedo, gets in front of Vanderlei, comes at him and throws a punch. Vanderlei does not know he's fighting this guy. Vanderlei is trying to fight nobody. In fact, from the footage that I've seen, it looks as though Vanderlei would like to calm this thing down. The guy hits him, the guy knocks him out. And there was reports that after Vanderlei was out, he still took some strikes. In fact, he even took a strike to the stomach while he was out. I got to tell you, with the chaos, I couldn't quite identify all that, but Vanderlei's side has come forward and said, we're suing him. That is a crime. That is an assault. And we're going to sue you guys. Now, I had somebody else come out and say, yes, that looks very bad. But you have to understand how they got there. They got there through Vanderlei doing an illegal action to the point that it was ruled illegal, and Vanderlei was punished in the form of a disqualification. So whether this is his opponent's son or not, he has nothing to do with this. He is not supposed to be there, and he's got no justification to hit Vanderlei. But there was a little bit of chatter back and forth that the son was somehow justified. And that's the part where I got to stop you. We have 2 different things happening here. We have a boxing event that comes with rules. It's an adjudication. And the judge of that adjudication is known as the referee. Who saw the headbutt? Who gave a warning for the headbutt? Who was tired of giving warning for the headbutts and ultimately ruled a loss, a disqualification. At that point, your boxing match is over. You are no longer protected by the commission. You are no longer protected by the sanctity of sport. They are now done. So if an unlicensed third person enters the ring, not only do you have a trespass, it would be illegal for somebody to even be present in that moment. He is now punching a tired and gloved up and unexpecting Vanderlei Silva. That is a crime. And that gets overlooked so many times in sport. So many times in sport, I will see that, well, there'll be some kind of an activity like that. The referee will make a call. Like in hockey, it is so widely accepted that the referees will stand there and watch while two guys fight. And there's nothing that anybody putting on a hockey event wants more than for a fight to break out. Largely because the sport of hockey is so unexplainably boring to watch. And you can come at me for that if you want, but none of you would watch hockey if it wasn't for the outside possibility that they're going to get into a fight. If you were guaranteed no fight, you're not tuning into the hockey game. And we've seen this in MMA before, and we haven't had police called and we haven't had it turned over to authorities, but we have seen Dana White release somebody from their contract. As big of a punishment as you can possibly get, and Dana's reasoning is always the same, which is that's illegal. We don't put on illegal fights. We put on legal, sanctioned fights at a specific time under a specific rule set with specific controls and mechanisms put in place. And the moment that bell sounds, that deal is now gone, which is why you may not do an attack or throw a punch. And I would just share it for you from that perspective, because I have seen a lot of chatter about did Vanderlei deserve it, but this was the guy's son. But Vanderlei attacked first, and this was a retribution. Vanderlei did not headbutt the son. Vanderlei did not fight the guy who hit him. Vanderlei did not headbutt anybody outside of the jurisdiction of the boxing match. That is false, and there is punishments if you do, of which he suffered. So the two events are greatly unrelated. Vanderlei did not deserve to be punched. He did not deserve to have to fight somebody that wasn't the person he agreed to fight. Vanderlei did not deserve to be attacked by somebody who's not wearing gloves, whose hands are not wrapped, who is completely fresh, and who is attacking him from behind. None of those things are true. Vanderlei is completely the victim in this situation.